Hello and welcome to WES Round 1 and 2 in Trentino Round for the UCI E-Mountain Bike Cross Country World Cup season opener. The first time we've ever been here in the astonishing Dolomites mountain area in northern Italy, well known for its tradition in e-biking, mountain biking and cyclotourism. The races this time will take place at the famous motocross venue Il Ciclamino, with a brand new track designed by WES across and around this world motocross circuit and its beautiful woods. Well, it's good to be back racing after the off-season break and meet up with old and new faces. Lots of new teams, bike brands and motor brands participating in the World Cup this year. 31 riders at the start, 8 women riders and the high participation of Italian riders. Here's some of our old friends, Swiss Loic Noel of Bergstrom and Sophia Wiedenroth, the reigning German champion. Let's take a look at the track. On race day 1, we'll be clockwise, 2.4 kilometres in length and 7 laps.
Here we go, guys. We are in Pietramurata, very famous for the MX, but now we have the first electric mountain bike series, the World Cup of e-mountain bike. Trentino, my home. We will see a part of the course because it's not available to race everything, but the most technical in the woods is ready to go. The start is fast, like a motor. This is maybe the fastest part of the race. Small jump, phew. Big jump, phew. Here, the game is changing. This part of the climb is not easy. This autotrophy is not easy. Here is like a trial, so technical. This part is very sticky. The wild part is finished, but I'm not so happy. Too much mistake. And finally, you have some part for recovery, a little bit.
Martino Frue taking us along that lap. What a great way to look at it. Let's remind you then that the WES races are open to elite and masters men and women riders. Time now for qualification of race 1. Anna Oberpolita in her Italian champion's jersey at the start. Mikhail Sorowski, Czech national champion. The world champion Natalie Schneider.
It was for sure a bit challenging because in the forest the track is quite difficult, but I think I didn't lose too much time, and yeah, finally it worked out, so I'm happy.
Wiedenroth set the best time in the qualification race in the women's. Let's see how it went in the men's.
It's a special track, especially you have really physical parts, and then you need to recover pretty quick for the parts in the forest, where it's really important to be smooth, have the right line. But I think for me it's really cool to have like both in an e-bike race, exactly what we need, and it will be a really interesting race for sure.
World champion Joris Reef was fastest in the morning qualifying, and he seems really to appreciate this track. Here's the two teammates taking the first Raspini pole position of the season.
I'm Gianluca Bassan, sales manager of Ascol. The main characteristic and features about our drive unit solution is the high performance of drive unit. The high performance thanks by the high torque, high power of the motor, up to 90 Newton meter per meter, with a peak of 110 Newton meters in boost mode. The second feature, very important, is the high efficiency of our drive unit in order to have more fun, in order to perform with the battery capacity. Last year we started with this type of race in order to empower the high performance of our drive units. Thanks by Mirko Tabacchi, we started with a high level of performance with our new challenge, because we are completely new in the market, and we choose this type of race in order to empower this efficiency, this power, and this compact design. We are completely new on the market, but with an history on the brushless electrical motor, because Ascol was born 40 years ago with the brushless electric motor, and Ascol compete in different business units such as appliance market. This is our new last challenge with the e-mobility company, e-mobility market, and we designed this specific motor in order to empower the brand of Ascol. Ascol Ultra is a new brand on the e-mountain bike industry, but with an heritage in the market, in the electrical motor market. As a new brand in WES races, we need to know to compete with the main brand on the market, and this is our challenge. And we are very confident that thanks by our partner, manufacturer on the bicycles, or the battery partner, and Mirko Tabacchi as well as driver, we are able to perform and to share our strong values.
The riders are on the grid to kick off the racing season. Reef in pole position, thumbs up from him. Everyone expectant. This is Sophia Wiedenroth in pole position in the women. All focus from her. Let's take a look at the starting grid. 6 different nationalities represented in the top 10 qualified riders. And we're underway in the first race of the season. The riders passing the Santero hole shots. There's our pace setters, Wiedenroth and Joris Reef. Look at this from a view. Fast start on the group from Mirko Tabacchi's GoPro. Reef leading from Gio, the French champion, just behind. Some tight turns for a tough battle on lap 1. Well, the 2 leading contenders of the last few years here once again in a close battle. And the 2 Italian riders battling for 3rd and 4th place, Friwo and Tabacchi. On board with Mirko Tabacchi, look at this. Gio overtaking Reef now and taking the lead on lap 2. Catherine Sternemann of Thomas. Even an expert rider like Ismael Esteban struggling on that difficult rocky section. Gio looks behind, increasing the gap ahead of Reef. This downhill jumping so fast. Wow! Here's Joris Reef, working his way through the rocky section. And Mirko Tabacchi overtakes Esteban. What a move. In the women's race, this is Wiedenroth in 2nd, followed by Schneider and Oberparleiter. Anna Spielmann is leading. Gio approaching the finish line to take his first win of the season. Gio takes it from Reef and Tabacchi. Let's hear from him now.
C'était bien, on s'amusait, on s'est bien tiré la bourre.
It was cool. We had fun. I was right there with Joris Reef, a very fast start. I managed to take the lead at the end of lap 2. Then it was a bit tough with some of the lapped riders on lap 4 or 5. Somehow difficult. But it's fine. Tomorrow there's another race, so I'll try to make it again.
Mais voilà, il reste encore demain, on va essayer de faire la même.
In the women's race, French champion and World Cup winner Justine Tonzo. It's not as fast as normal. Anna Spielmann pushing her bike on the uphill. She's struggling. And Wiedenroth manages to overtake her and take the lead. This last lap is fast. The speed of Sophia Wiedenroth as she takes the win. And here's the women's classification in race 1 in Trentino. Wiedenroth takes it from Spielmann and Schneider.
When I win quali, I never expect to win the race because the quali is just like so different to the race. The track is really difficult with the motocross part and also in the forest, and I knew I just tried to stay focused, and lap by lap in the final lap I could pass Anna, and yeah, it was a really tight battle actually between us.
And now time to crown our winners after a great first race. Joris Reef takes the first Santero hole shot of 2024. Likewise, his teammate in the women's race. The women's podium, the awards presented by the local mayor. There's our podium, Wiedenroth on the top step. Here's the standings after the first race, Wiedenroth from Spielmann and Schneider. And here's our men's podium, Joe on the top step ahead of Reef and Tabaki. All celebrations at the end of race number 1. Let's take a look at the standings, Joe from Reef from Tabaki. And the traditional family picture at the end of race number 1 here in Trentino. Let's take a look at race 2, this time anti-clockwise with an additional lap, a total of 8 laps and 1,040 metres of climbing. Let's see who's going to take the pole position on day 2 in this qualification race. The women starting first as normal. Justine Tonzo there approaching the start line. Schneider at the start. And Wiedenroth really focused on the timed lap. Wiedenroth riding this track superbly today. She sets the best time again on day 2 and takes the Raspini Pole Position Awards. Joe looking relaxed. Reef looking focused. Joe looking much more relaxed than his rival Reef. It's a technical but really flowing track at times. Joe looking so comfortable. Flying his way down that descent and across the line to take his first pole position of the season. He takes the Raspini Pole Position Award, and there's the presentation. Let's hear now about Joris Reef.
Yeah, my last year's season was pretty good, so the only thing was I had unfortunately a broken chain in Barcelona, so I couldn't finish the season as I wanted. But everything else was really good last season, and I'm so happy to start the season now here in Italy. That's really cool. I had a pretty good winter, and then I did a lot of cross-country World Cups. It was so nice for me to compete also with other riders in other disciplines, push myself a little bit more, bring maybe some more physical skills on another level, and then for sure worked a lot with the brand, improved the bike, and now it's so cool to test, or when now everything comes together. It was a long winter. We had also a tough winter with a lot of rain, but I was also always really motivated to start the season. Yeah, also like with the another World Championships coming up in Andorra on a track which I already know. And yeah, it was more motivating or more really motivating in the winter to prepare for the season than a hard preparation, I would say. The goal is definitely to defend the World Champion title, so I'm working hard for this. Also, all the goals are in direction to the World Champs in Andorra. But overall, my goal this year is to be maybe the overall winner of the World Cup. I finished now, I think, 3 years in a row in second. It's a tough battle, I know, but yeah, I'm here. I try to be better year by year, and I know it's such a cool fight with Jerome. I think already yesterday we showed that we push each other. I think the race got even faster. That's so nice, and I think as an athlete that's the best when you can perform and go like every year a little bit better. Yeah, it's not always easy, especially yesterday I was pretty nervous because the first race of the season is not always something different. You don't know, is there a new competitor, is there, maybe how's your shape, how's the bike, how's everything, but in the end it's more motivating than pressure, and I just love what I'm doing, so that's the nice part about the sport.
Great to hear more about Joris Reef, and now we go to race 2. The riders are on the grid. There's the weather conditions for you. Sophia Wiedenroth in her World Cup leaders jersey, starting in first place in the women's race. Same as this rider, Jérôme Gillot, in the men's in pole position. Great conditions for today's race. There's the top grid. 7 nations represented in the first 10 riders in the starting positions. Well, we're all ready. And we're off for race 2. What a fast start to the whole shot, the very first turn of the course. We're on board with Dutchman Jeroen van Eck of Ghost. Look how close the riders are. This is the Santero hole shot. Sterneman and Dender take their first ever hole shots. Gillot taking the lead. He looks good today, doesn't he? Technically so strong. Anna Spielman in the women's race takes the lead. This is a motivated Mirko Tabaki behind Gillot in second. Looking good through there. The world champion Reef in third. Carrying plenty of speed, Reef, through this section. This is Van Eck just behind the Italian Frue. Spielman taking the first Magneti Morelli Czech Star power lap as she sets the fastest time on race 2. An even tighter battle this time. Confirmation of that Magneti Morelli Czech Star power lap. Schneider, Wiedenroth in third. Gillot takes the Magneti Morelli Czech Star power lap in the men's. The Italian rider, Andrea Pignotti of Nextala. Spielman having technical problems, slowing down in eco mode. Maybe an overheated engine, Obula Polita and Sterneman fighting for 4th place. Tonzo here just behind. Van Eck. Whoa, a crash for the Dutchman. This is Frue. Schneider taking advantage of Spielman, who was slowing down and takes the lead. Jérôme Gillot crosses the finish line in first and takes the double. Confirmation of the result, Gillot from Tabaki from Reef. Let's hear from our race winner.
Petit problème mécanique.
I had a little technical problem at the end of lap 6. Race 2 was much more physically demanding than race 1, with some hard steep climbs, and less technical but slippery, where you had to keep your line and be focused. It's always the toughest part of the job. I still have something to work on, both physically and technically speaking, to be ready for the World Championships.
Mécanique et physique pour les championnats du monde.
Schneider gets herself to the finish and takes the win in race 2. Congratulated by Wiedenroth, and there's the result. Schneider from Spielmann from Wiedenroth. Let's hear from her now.
The race was very physical today. That's mostly in my favor. I actually liked the track better yesterday because it was more technical, and I think it was skills-wise more challenging. But yeah, a little bit better start, a little bit more power on the pedals, so good day.
Katrin Sternemann takes the Santero hole shot in the women's race number 2. There's our podium this time, Schneider from Spielmann. And confirmation that Schneider and Wiedenroth are equal on 41 points in the World Cup standings. In the men's event, Lucas Dender takes the Santero hole shot, and here's our podium, Jérôme Gillot ahead of Tabaki and Reef. Here's the men's standings, Gillot with 50 points. Our Magneti Morelli Checkstar Power Lap Awards. Gillot and Spielmann celebrate this time. And there's our family picture at the end of race number 2 here in Italy, as they celebrate a great weekend of racing. We're going to be back next time in Bielstein in Germany. We've got a little bit of a break for the summer and the World Championships, but we'll be back on the 7th and 8th of September. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.